Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Big P here. You know, don't you? You know. Sunday morning in the Bat Cave in Rotherham. Today I'm joined by Michael Apollo from London. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing, Russell?
Yeah, I'm all right. Did you get on with Russ Gerrard all right at West Ham?
Oh, it was excellent. I really enjoyed myself.
Well, how far's that from where you live?
Oh, it's not too far. I've been to the gym before. It's West Ham Boxing Club. I had a great time. Met all the young juniors and amateur boxers, some senior boxers, and I think Russ Gerrard and the trainers at West Ham are doing an amazing job. You know,
Yeah.
um, like me, they're all boxing men, and I've actually got plans. I want to do some sort of documentary of West Ham Boxing Club over the coming months. And I really enjoy watching all the sparring. And I met Kevin Mitchell. I haven't met him in years.
It's all right, Kevin, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. I was gutted when he got knocked out by Michael Katsidis.
Yeah, it's a shame that one, because he could have beat him, couldn't he? Yeah. What about when he fought that guy at Wembley?
Which one,
And
Graham O?
no, he didn't he fight? Were it Linares? I can't remember now. I thought he should have won that fight. One, I forget the guy's name, but didn't his corner make a mistake or something? And there should have been this fight should have been stopped or something on his cut on. If it had gone to cards, he were winning and all that kind of thing. I forget now. Probably hardcores will remember, but I'm shot to pieces. I'm all washed up, 51-year-old.
Don't look it.
I know, mate. I look fantastic, don't I? I'm a picture of health. It's the
Yeah.
glasses. It's the glasses, Michael. Right. I've got a corker video coming out. I've just done the script for this.
Wow.
That's gonna send a few ripples through boxing. I don't know if I'm gonna film it today. I'm gonna chew on the fat. I'm gonna chew it over tonight and think about it. I think, but I've just finished the script. It took me an hour of research. But anyway, what would you like to speak about, Michael? Fire away, and we'll bounce off each other. How's about that? Before I do my Tom Platz leg workout. They don't call me the quad father for note, you know. Go on then.
Sure. All right. Where to start?
Hang on a second.
Sure.
Fuck off, I'm filming. People are walking by shouting, "Go to Adam Booth!
He's the best.
Adam Booth, the Dark Lord!" Right, go on then. Can you hear it? Can you hear this shouting that? I'll have to shut window. Go on.
All right, so let's start with Eddie Hearn. So I think he's been going on Sky Sports for, what's it been, 10 years? And end of an era. So apparently that's his last show with Sky Sports last night. I believe Sky Sports have signed a broadcasting deal with Top Rank. So where does British boxing go from here? I mean, it looks like Eddie's going to go off to America. Where do you see British boxing heading now?
I'm going to cover it in the next video, but I'm going to give you a little insight. I think the product's watered down throughout the country. That's all I'm going to say, because all these statistics I want to say for next video, because people are saying, "Oh, you don't want to cover certain shows." Well, listen, I've just covered them here. But the point I want to make is that I've got it all on my computer. The product's watered down severely. Eddie Hearn's seen this a couple of years ago, but they could get away with it. They've got away with it for that long that it's become the norm. For example, Froch Boutte 9 years ago was on non-pay-per-view, a fight of that magnitude. Now what have we got on non-pay-per-view? Lewis Ritson against Ponce. That's not even in the same league, is it? Point I want to make is this watering down, it filters through the sport, because other promoters and then say to Border Control, well, you can't knock that fight back. You were letting so-and-so have it. The Boxing Border Control have got to set a precedent, right? And say, when certain kids who are 10-0 are fighting kids 0 and 10, somebody's got to step in and say, hey, that can't happen. Or when you've got people like Bradley Skeet fighting Dale Harrismith, somebody's got to step in and say, whoa, somebody's going to get hurt here. But it filters through. And before you know where you are, you're looking on one side at away fighters, and everybody, all but the main fights, got losing records. And they're all fighting kids with non-losing records. Somebody's going to get hurt. The product's watered down, and it's across the board. It ain't any particular promoter's problem, because they're just going to take piss all the time. It's the Boxing Border Control. They've allowed it to happen for money. The fights that have been allowed to happen in this pandemic have been off the scale, off the charts, mate. Frightening fights. I'm surprised we haven't had any deaths. Touch wood, we don't. People have been allowed to get away with it. They're trading in horse meat, cattle markets. This is what this is. And you know the UFC?
Right.
The statistics, and I've got them all here. They're putting on better stuff. Boxing is putting on shitter stuff. Shit talkers, these shit talkers, promoters, are putting shite on. People are going to get killed or maimed or bashed up, or people are just doing it to get a few quid. Well, we need to get a few quid. We've got no. People are in a position where they've got to take hard fights, and they shouldn't be taking them fights. There's got to be grey areas. We can either have it one way or other. We can have deaths on our hands and people getting bashed up for a few quid, a few measly quid, or we can have kids brought on. And boxing's changed across the board. I mean, for example, would Frank Warren have put Yard in with Kovalev years ago? Would he have put Dubois in with Joyce? No, he wouldn't. His hand had been forced, because there's that much garbage about. Even Frank Warren knew, God, we can't keep putting this Josh on. We're going to get hammered. So he had to roll the dice, didn't he? And he'll bring Yard back and Dubois because he's experienced at that. But how many more? Hang on a minute. How many more are taking gambles like Frank? They're not, are they?
They're not. Yeah. So it was desperation on Frank's part, wasn't it?
I think he was backed into a corner by Eddie Hearn, and he needed to put a big fight on. He was getting a lot of stick, Frank, so he rolled the dice. Yard wouldn't have been bothered. He got paid, and he nearly pulled it off. And Dubois, he will winning fight till his eye injury. But look, they probably took them fights a year too early. But he had his hand forced, didn't he? Yeah, he did have his hand forced, and Eddie Hearn had been loving that, wouldn't he? He'd have been loving that, mate.
Eddie Hearn probably laughing himself to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, that was a lot of interesting points you raised, and I completely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you want to look specifically, when you mention some of these fights, look at the bookies' odds. You're seeing matchroom fighters in 100-1 fights. You know, you have to put £100 on the opponent to win a quid. Look at Tommy Fury. You know, he fights people that have had 69 losses. I mean, these are not fights. You know, if you go to a gym, if you go to an amateur club, they wouldn't let you spar. Like some of these people, if it's a mismatch, they won't let you spar. They'll say it's too much for this, lads. But you're letting professional fighters take on people who they could potentially put in hospital, potentially put in comas. And boxing, as you said, Froch Bute, that was an amazing fight. That's a fight which I wish I was at. That's pay-per-view. But Lewis Ritson versus Ponce, listen, I've never even heard of Ponce. I saw the fight. It was a good little fight, but I've never heard of Ponce. Then you got April Hunter. This is not pay-per-view. I'm not going to pay my hard-earned money for this. And yeah, as you say, I think your best guess without question is Terry Chapindama. And yeah, the way you guys articulate it, well, boxing's going backwards. In football, you start off, you work your way up the ranks, then the best take on the best. Any other sport, you go up the ranks. But in boxing, you know, you can get someone who fights. You're having mismatches all the time. And, you know, Eddie Hearn's disappearing off to America, but Eddie Hearn's part of the problem. He's the board, all these people. It's one massive hoax. You know, they're all part of it.
Mum, let me just ring you back. I'm just filming. Go on, yeah. Go on, Michael. You were saying.
But just to sum up, I mean, sometimes in the past in some of your videos, maybe I've gone on a bit, but just to get to the point, someone just needs to sort this out. Just give me the fights that I want to see. You know, look at the Euro qualifiers right now. You got the teams playing each other. That's how boxing should be. The best playing the best. You move up the ranks and you fight.
Yeah.
You know, but in boxing, I don't care about your personality. I'm a 30-year-old man now. So when you get some of these 17, 18-year-olds come along, I don't care about what you do in your personal life. I don't care about your stamp collection. Can you fight? That's all I care about.
Stamp collection. You mean beanie?
Yeah. But what do I care about someone's stamp collection? Go watch Ali Foreman. Just tell me what the punch. Just talk about the fight. You know, stop talking about people. Well, you know, his brother's Daniel Dubois, or you know, he does this and that in his spare time. I don't care. But what does that have to do with me?
Yeah.
You know, his dad's such and such. His dad's Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. Okay, but can he fight? Just give me good fights. Stop giving me celebrity nonsense. Don't even get me started on Mayweather Logan Paul. What did you? I haven't seen it. I've seen some of the highlights. What did you think of that one?
Thought he carried him. I thought Mayweather
He
carried
did.
him for 8 rounds.
Of course he did.
Thought he carried him, and I thought there'd have been a lot of money betted on that fight going the full distance. Carried him, mate. He carried him, and Terry reckons that Mayweather's not got it no more. No, I don't. I don't think that. Mayweather's got a style that he could fight till he's 50, like Hopkins. Do you know what I mean? Because he don't get hit, does he? So no, I don't think Mayweather's gone. Terry thinks he is, but no, I don't think he is. No.
Yeah, but I don't know what Terry said. I think he's a very intelligent guy. And
He should be, shouldn't he? He's a banker, isn't he?
Okay. But what I'd say to Terry, Terry's coached amateur boxers. I'm going to prove logically to anyone who thinks Mayweather didn't carry Logan Paul. I'll prove it logically, yeah?
Yeah.
Terry Chappendama is an amateur trainer. He's trained a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you see two guys sparring and one of them's too good, you tell him to go easy, don't you? I mean, I've sparred people better than me. And I remember one time, who's a good example? I sparred one of Ted Bammy's fighters. He was a pro fighter. He wasn't really supposed to hit me back. He hit me a couple of shots, and then Ted Bammy told him off. Whoa, easy, don't hit him, don't hit him. He's only an amateur. So this is what I say about Mayweather Paul. Mayweather just playing with him. You know, he just playing around. Take a look at him, and it's just a sparring session. It's not even a sparring session. That's like a dad sparring his son. That's what that was. And the fact you've actually got money for it. I mean, you know, listen, if people are gullible enough, then I mean, what can I say? You know, I think at one point I saw one of the highlights. I mean, it just looked like Mayweather grabbed hold of him, stopped him from falling. You know, but what can I say? I'm not going to go into a rant like I've done in the past. But that's just if I was in Mayweather's position, you shouldn't even be. Where's your dignity? You shouldn't even be fighting this guy. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just, I'm going to stop myself. I think it was a disgusting event.
Oh, they made millions of pounds, didn't they? They robbed the you know that film Heat with Robert De Niro. I like to watch that.
And Pacino.
I like that one, and I like The Town with Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner. But they robbed the bank in broad daylight, and nobody did anything about it. That's how cool Mayweather were. That's how cool he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if people want to hand him money over like that, well, good luck to him. That's what I say. More for them, but Russell didn't buy it. I won't buy it. A load of crap. I don't buy stuff like that.
I mean, yeah. What can I'm not going to pay for it. A fighter versus he's a civilian. He's a kid. I mean, what next? I say this to Mayweather's face, but who's Floyd going to take on next? Is he going to take on 10-year-old children? Is he going to go down to the local nursery? Like, come on. But I'm not blaming them because but they should have been prevented from that fight happening. And the thing is, all right, so imagine if Mayweather turned around, knocked him out, and put him in a coma. What will people say then? I've met Michael Watson before. Look at what happened to Gerald McLennan. If the YouTubers want to fight each other, I'm okay with that. But when you're getting in the ring with professional fighters and you're not a fighter, like, come on. But I don't think Floyd's stupid. He didn't want to, he didn't want to take any risks. He didn't want to hit him. He didn't want to, because obviously nobody wants a death on our hands. But imagine if something did happen. Imagine if he's gone and knocked him out. You remember when Mayweather knocked out Victor Ortiz? So imagine he does that to Logan Paul, puts him in a coma, or say he dies. Because this is the last thing I'll say about it. Go to the Peacock Gym. There's that statue outside of Bradley Stone. And for those of you who don't know who Bradley Stone is, he's a professional boxer who died in a fight. So when I used to train at Peacock, every time you walk in, you see the statue there. So boxing is a sport where people die. So, when you talk about fighters quitting, and it's not worth your life. It's not worth your life. So that's what I'll say about Mayweather Paul.
Yeah. What do you think about Fury Joshua then, Michael? Do you think it's ever going to happen? Yes or no?
Yes, it will happen.
Yeah. You reckon it'll happen? Yeah. Dave Allen reckons it won't happen.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't really take anything Dave Allen says seriously.
No, well, he's back now. He's got a new script. He's back because he wants to get his fighters on shows. I don't know who's going to give Dave Allen a medical license pass to fight again after all carrying off that's gone off. I don't know. I wish him well. He's likable, but I think he should turn it in, concentrate on being a trainer.
I mean, yeah, I've met him once. He's a nice enough man. And anything that I say, it's never personal. I've got nothing against anyone on a personal level. But Dave Allen, I mean, you've had your chance to fight. You made a mockery out of boxing. You're a professional fighter who, in your own words, you don't train. To me, you're a danger to the sport of boxing. So I don't really want to see. I hope he doesn't fight, and I especially, obviously, I don't want to see him get hurt. Boxing's a dangerous sport, So, but I wish him well. If he does fight, well, I wish him well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Billy Joe Saunders, what did you make of his radio interview? He's done a radio interview after 32 days of being missing. What did you make of that, Michael?
I haven't seen it, to be honest.
Well, you won't see it. You will hear it. It's on the radio on TalkSport.
Very clever. I haven't heard it. What can you tell me about it?
No, basically, I'd like to see him come out and do a interview on IFL. I mean, Coogan's supposed to be the man, isn't he? Cougs, Billy Joe's like my family. Well, get him on your channel. Because when Daniel Dubois got beat, you had him on your channel then. So he's been beat. So let's have him on your channel, Coogan. You can't go one way and other. You can't play both sides at fence. You have to stay neutral, like me. I don't know, but I don't really care about it, to be honest. Billy Joe's not a warrior. He's not what he said he was on the tin, is he?
Well, he's a hypocrite. I've got no issue with him quitting. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because fighters are only human. You're going to reach your limit at some point. But what I don't like about Billy Joe Saunders, and I'd say it to his face, but it's what you said about Daniel Dubois. And then when you said, I'd never quit, I'm a warrior, you know, you could shoot me, you could smash me in the head with a baseball bat, I wouldn't quit. Well, but you did quit though, so you're a hypocrite, you know. So, you know, you've made yourself look silly, but, you know, at least, you know, don't be a hypocrite. Stand by your words. Address Daniel the situation with Dubois. Apologize. Admit. Take your words back. You know, like even with me, I'm not. You're not going to hear me slag fighters for quitting. You know, I don't think I'd quit, but I've never boxed at that higher level, so I don't know. I've never had broken ribs. I've never had a broken eye socket, so I can't sit here and tell you what I'll do. I've been dropped by body shots. I got back up, but I've never been not. I haven't boxed at that higher level, so I can't. I'll look stupid if I sit here and say I'll never quit. You know. So I don't like it when I'll give you a quick example. It's like Carl Frampton when he was saying I'd never quit. I'd never quit. Yeah, but mate, you never fought Wigan, so there's different ways of quitting. You know, you never fought people like Wigan, so you avoided him. There's different ways of quitting. So when you slag someone like Dubois off, but at least he took Joe Joyce on, and you never did. But obviously, I can't slag anyone off because again, I've never boxed at that higher level. So, you know, maybe I might quit. I don't know. You know,
Billy never fought Golovkin when that fight were offered him, did he?
and that's another example. When that Golovkin fight was on the table, I remember what he said. He said to Eubank, Golovkin will beat you and me in the same night. Yeah, but you shouldn't be saying things like so. By not fighting Golovkin, that is a form of quitting because you didn't really want to get in the ring with him. You know, so you're saying Dubois quit, but remember Dubois got in with Joyce. You never got in with Golovkin.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all swings and roundabouts. You know.
Okay. What do you think is going to happen with Anthony Joshua and Usyk, Michael? Do you think that fight's going to take place, or do you think we're being paid lip service by the powers that be?
I think we're being paid lip service. It just there's something about that fight that seems a bit off. It's just something where it might happen, but Eddie just seems a bit reluctant, like he's beating around the bush. You know, I don't think fighters duck fighters. Do I think Anthony Joshua's scared of Usyk? Of course not. He's gonna look at Usyk. I'm bigger than you. I've achieved more than you. Anthony Joshua isn't gonna care. But the
Yeah.
people around him, the Eddie Hearns and the Barry Hearns and what's his manager's name? I forget his name. Frank Smith and these different people, they're gonna have their doubts. They're gonna have their because you know Usyk's a dangerous fight. You know, Joshua's beatable. I wouldn't be surprised if that fight doesn't happen this year. I wouldn't be surprised.
Frank Smith spreads Anthony Joshua's spunk on toast in the morning. Do you know that?
I didn't know that. Didn't really want to know
Yeah.
that, but
Well, I'm just saying that. That's what I read on a forum last night. So
that's a shame.
yeah. I mean, what's that other one? That other gib that were running around saying AAJ, what we're going to be doing? And somebody said, "What does AAJ mean?" And he went, "After AJ." And he said, "I still don't get what you mean." He went, "After AJ's event versus Pulev." And this kid went, "Event? What the fuck are you on about? He took the fight at 12 days' notice. Pulev, you know,
Yeah.
not Takam, the Takam fight." And he was running around saying, "After AJ or AAJ," we're like matchroom gimp codes. Fucking weirdo that. It's a cult, mate. It's a fucking cult.
That's the way boxing is. You know, people. I'm gonna start. I'll give you. When I went down West Ham yesterday, it's woken the passion up in me for boxing again. Because for a long time I've been disillusioned.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start becoming active in boxing again. I've got a white collar fight this month. I'm gonna start interviewing people again. But the point I'm trying to make, there's not enough people in boxing like me, you, your friend Rush Gerard. There's not enough passionate boxing people because a lot of them they don't care about boxing. They just want to make as much money from boxing as possible, and they go around. They don't speak the truth. Like Kugan Cassius is a good example. Like you're not objective. You're coming up with fake narratives, and then it's like you keep going about he's my mate. This is my yeah, but it's not about being mates. Just do your job to the best of your ability. Ask challenging questions. Get encourage the fighters to fight each other. I give you one simple example, like the whole thing with Joshua and Fury. But why have you created this whole myth out of nothing? I don't care what they talk about. Either they're gonna fight or they're not gonna fight. And I said all along the fight's not happening this year. But for you to keep telling us what so and so said, and I'm going to do an interview Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, announcements about announcements about announcements. We're going to give you live broadcast of Eddie Hearn having his lunch. But you're not doing the job to the best. I don't care what they do. If Eddie Hearn ended up in hospital tomorrow, I'd feel sorry for him, but it's got nothing to do with it. He's not my dad. He's not my uncle. But when you're trying to give us all this celebrity, oh my God, today AJ and Tyson Fury met up in my, I don't really care. But yeah, let me stop myself but this is the problem with boxing. There's not enough people just doing the job to the best of their ability. And I'm not just saying this, but boxing needs more people like Terry Chapindama. Put Terry Chapindama on Sky Sports. I'd love to hear someone like that commentate. Someone that knows the sport. Not people, not celebrity, Anna Warhouse and these sort of people. My boyfriend's Barney Francis. I've got a job. I'm gonna stop before I go into a rant mode.
Yeah. When's Father's Day? Is it next Sunday?
I think it's quite soon, isn't it? Yeah. I'd have to Google the day.
All right. What do you see happening with Hughie Fury?
Let's see. I think he's a very good fighter. I think he's good enough to beat most heavyweights. I don't know. He's a risky fight, though, isn't he? Because you can hardly hit him. So someone like Dylan White, are these people going to want to fight him? I think he'll get a big fight. I think he'll get one of the big names. Yokar, Dylan, who's the other one? Joseph Parker. Maybe a Joseph Parker rematch. But I think he deserves a big fight. And as I say, he's a good fighter. I just want to see him get the sort of big opportunity. But what is with people like him, because they're not, this is the problem with boxing, because they don't talk, they're not given the same limelight. But to me, I don't care whether a fighter talks or not. I just want to see you fight. But, Eddie Hearn and these people, they want you to do numbers, so it might be a bit more difficult for him to get opportunities. Do you think he can get any big names?
Oh, Hughie?
Yeah.
I don't know, because he's not very engaging, is he, Hughie, outside of boxing, is he? A bit like Savannah, they're very quiet, aren't they? Not everybody's, like Ritson, he's quiet. Not everybody's, like Dave Allen, wanting to overkill it till 5 a.m. on Twitter in the morning. Then they don't want to get up and do the road work, do they? So you've got to get a balance right. Personally, I think that fighters should have somebody run the social media and interact with fans till however in the morning, because a lot of these people that are on the internet interacting in early hours are people that ain't got jobs. That's basically it. Or people who want to go, who are on night shifts. There's not many of them are 9-to-5ers, because why would they be up at that time of night? I don't get that. So I don't know. What do you see happening with Conor Benn, Michael?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. He's a decent fighter. Conor Benn, I think he'll get someone to fight him at some point, but he seems reluctant. He doesn't really want to fight David Avanesian. And one of the problems that I got with boxing, and I tell you what, when I see Conor Benn, I want to interview him. I want to have a word with him about this. What he said about Amir Khan, well, nothing. Well, he'll beat me up, obviously. I'm not going to get aggressive, but what he said about Amir Khan.
Conor Benn, you're a prick. Go on, Michael. You were saying.
Yeah. Connor, that wasn't me saying that.
Connor,
What you
you're a
said
prick. You're a little prick. Go on.
Yeah, I like you though, Connor.
Who won't fight David Evanesian, you little fucking shithouse coward. Grow some balls and fight David Evanesian, you little prick. Go on, Michael, you were saying.
It's all right, but what I'd say to Conor Benn, and it's not just him, I've got a problem with boxing. Conor Benn's done a few interviews where he's called out Amir Khan, which that's up to you. But when you're trying to say that Amir Khan's scared of you and he's duck, that's just disgusting. There's no respect. That's no respect. If I was to call out Amir Khan and he blanks me, which is what he would do, does that mean he's scared of me? No. It just means he's not interested. And it's like you won't fight David Avanesian. Look how many guys Amir Khan's fought. He's fought people like Maidana, Zab Judah.
He's got 11 wins over world champions.
Yeah, and what is it with these boxers these days? Why do you disrespect each other? Like, you shouldn't be saying Amir Khan's scared. It's just that you're not worth his time.
He's been told to say that, haven't they, by Eddie Hearn? They tell him to say it, don't they?
But that's my point. It's probably not even Conor's fault, but this is the problem with boxing where they're being told to say these sort of things. But you've got to take a step back, control your emotions, and you've got to look at it from Khan's point of view. I met Amir Khan in 2009 for the first time. So 2009, how long has Amir Khan been around boxing? He's coming to the end of his career. He's not going
coming to the end of his career. He won Olympic silver in 2004 at 17 years ago, mate. Coming to the end of his career. His career's been over for years. Amir Khan's last world title win, Zeb Judah. That was 10 years ago, mate. 10 years ago. 10 years, mate. So his last world title wins 10 years. So his career's been over 10 years.
10 years.
At the top. Been over 10 years, mate. He's been picking up free money for 10 years. So what I say is this: fuck off out the sport of boxing. Stop rinsing it. There's too many sponsors hanging around like bad smells because they've got a bit of a name, feel like they can just keep coming back and taking out the fucking sport. What about these kids that are trying to make the way? Just like it looks like they're going to get a fight with somebody or get a bit of fame, you've got these fuckers that come in and take. Oh, my dad was a famous boxer, so I'm going to be a boxer. Like Eubank and Ben, their dads are famous. Yeah, but what have they fucking done? What have they done? Except ponce off the fucking name. And they say it's not about the name. Well, fucking change your fucking name then. Fucking sick of it.
Stop talking about your dad so much.
Yeah, that's it. Fucking hell. Chris Eubank Sr., his record's not that fucking good anyway. 4 wins over world champions. 4. All right. 4. Richie Woodall's got more than him.
Yeah.
Carefully matched with WBO for years. Barry Hearn rinsed the WBO. There were no fucking box rec in them days. Chris Eubank Sr., he keeps going on about these 19 world title wins he's got. Every time I see him on YouTube, he's at an evening with Chris Eubank. Yes, I had 19 world title wins, he says with that fucking list. Only 4 of them were world champions, Ben Graciano and 2 others. Oh, what other fucking 15 then? Oh, what other 15 you fucking defended your belt against? You know what I mean?
Knockover jobs.
Bin men, roadmen, bin men.
Oh, as Nigel Benn said it, Mexican road sweepers.
Yeah, Nigel Benn's only got 7, so Frotcher's got more than him. But then again, Sugar Ray Leonard only had 7, but look at the 7 wins he's got. Do you know what I mean? Agler only had 7, but look at the 7 he had. And he had loads of fucking fights. But the point I want to make is, Chris Eubank needs to shut his fucking mouth and his brat. I don't like them. Fucking takers. Fucking frauds.
I agree with you, but that's just what boxing is. They exploit the sport.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to change all that.
I hope you do. I hope everything works out.
Well, so far it is. In my own little head.
You'll get there.
Listen, mate, I've never quit fucking note in my life, and I'm not about to start now dealing with these shithouses in boxing. Fucking hellfire. I don't mind most people in boxing, but don't come into my company chatting shit. Shit talkers. I don't have them near me. Gonna do this, gonna do that. Fucking full of them. I must have blocked about 10 people on my WhatsApp this week. I'm just getting rid of people that chat shit. I don't have shit talkers in my life. And you know what? I feel a lot fucking better for dropping people who are shit talkers.
I don't blame you.
So other than that, we'll end on that note. How are you doing, Michael? Anything you want to say out to your followers? Your Twitter handle, Facebook, Insta. What are you on, Michael? YouTube? Let's hear it.
Oh yeah, just type in Emperor Michael. I
What?
Emperor Michael.
Is that your new nickname? I thought it was fucking Apollo Creed. You, Adrian. It's me, Apollo. Aren't you Apollo no more?
Nah, change it to Emperor Michael.
Emperor, fucking hell. Whereabouts in London do you live?
I live near Stratford.
Go on, lad. Okay,
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching, everyone, and look forward to talking to everyone in the comment section.
All right then, Michael. Well, listen, you take care. Peace out.
Cheers,
mate. All the best. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.